Good morning, students. As you know, we have already discussed transportation of sap in plants through xylem. Now, moving ahead, we will see transportation of food in phloem. Before that, as a recap, we will see transportation of sap, that is ascent of sap. Sap is water plus mineral. The upward movement of water plus mineral in the xylem from the roots to the leaves is called ascent of sap. It is carried out in xylem. Many theories were put across, like root pressure. According to this theory, root exerts a pressure on the water and it moves upward. Then capillary action, water moves in the xylem by capillary action because xylem tube is very fine, just like the capillary tube. A water tension is created in this capillary tube and water moves upward. The next theory is adhesion and cohesion theory. According to this theory, adhesion means the force of attraction between water molecule and xylem, and cohesion means force of attraction between two water molecules. And because of these force of attractions, that is adhesion and cohesion, water moves upward. Means there is a force of attraction between water molecules and there is a force of attraction between water and xylem, wall of xylem. And because of this helping force or the force of attraction, water moves in upward direction, that is ascent of sap. Now next very important and last theory is related to transpiration pull. And transpiration creates pull, and because of this pull water moves upward, that is ascent of sap. Transpiration pull is the most acceptable theory, and in tall plants because of transpiration pull the water moves and reaches to the heights because of the transpiration pull. Transpiration is the loss of water in the form of water vapor through stomata. It creates a vacuum which creates a suction called transpiration pull. You must have observed small kids, or you must have observed in your case only, when you sip juice with the help of a straw, the water moves in upward direction because a suction is created when you pull up the liquid or the juice you are sipping. So in the same way, in case of plants, a pull is created, that is the suction is created or the suction pressure is created because of transpiration. You can see here with the help of this diagram that, for example, this is a leaf and the stomata are present on the undersurface of the leaves. Because of the transpiration, that is the loss of water in the form of water vapor, a suction pressure is created here, and that suction pressure which is created, a vacuum which is created, empty space which is created, it will try to pull water in upward direction. And this pull which is created by the suction, and suction was in turn created by the transpiration, it is known as transpiration pull. And this transpiration pull plays a major role in ascent of sap. Because of this transpiration pull, water moves in upward direction via the xylem. So this is how water moves because of the transpiration. So many theories were there: root pressure, adhesion and cohesion theory, capillary action, transpiration pull. Now you know that how the water or the sap moves in xylem and it reaches to the leaves. Leaves are the destination of the sap. Now what about the food? Food is prepared in the leaves. Leaves are the kitchen of the plant. By the process of very important process, photosynthesis, the food is prepared. Now the food needs to be distributed to each and every part of the plant. How it is going to be distributed? It is going to be distributed with the help of another conducting tissue, that is called phloem. So phloem plays important role in translocation of the food. Why I have used a special word translocation? Because when the food moves in phloem, it moves in bidirection or multi-direction form. Means from the leaves, the food is directed to all parts of the plant. So that is called bidirectional flow of the food. For example, this is the leaf and food is prepared in the leaves by the process of photosynthesis. This is the food which is prepared. Now this food needs to be given to the upper parts of the plant. At the same time, it needs to be given to the lower parts of the plant like roots, because here the food will be stored. So the food prepared in the leaves, so leaves are called the source of the food, and for example root, where it will be stored, they are called storage portions, or the storage parts are called sink. So in case of phloem, the food is translocated from the source to the sink. The food is, you can say, conducted or transported or transferred, but the better and apt word is translocated, because it is, food is given to different locations. The movement of food in phloem is bidirectional. So we say the food is translocated from source where it is prepared to the sink where it is stored. Then the second thing is, transport of a food requires the utilization of energy, that is ATP. Unlike in case of xylem, ATP was not used. That process is considered to be, ascent of sap is considered to be a passive process. Means ATP is not required, transpiration creates a pull and the water moves in upward direction automatically. But here in case of translocation of the food in phloem, ATP expenditure is there. Means ATP or the energy currencies are utilized. Okay, so transport of food or translocation of food is an active process where ATP is utilized. So this is how it happens. Now see, transport of food in plants happens because of utilization of energy, so it is called active transport. The flow of substance through phloem takes place in both direction. It is two-way traffic in phloem. Two-way traffic means because the food is the requirement of every part of the plant, so it has to be translocated, it has to be transported to every part. So here we can say the difference in xylem and phloem in in case of xylem, the transport of sap is unidirectional. It moves from the roots to the leaves. But in case of phloem, the movement of food is bidirectional. It moves from the leaves to all parts of the plants. If you see in this slide, very clearly it has been shown that how the food moves in case of phloem. Now see, in the given picture, for example, this is the source, that is the leaf, where the food is prepared, that is, it is prepared in the form of sucrose. Now the food will go to the companion cell and it will come to the phloem. Companion cell is nearby the sieve tube. This is the sieve tube. You know, in case of phloem, food is translocated in sieve tubes, and just adjacent to sieve tubes there are companion cells. You know, sieve tubes, they do not have nucleus. So who will control the flow of the food in sieve tubes? Their friend, that is companion cells. They do have the nucleus and they help in translocation of food in sieve tubes. So you can see this one is the sieve tube. From the source, that is the leaf, it goes to the companion cell. Companion cells give it to the sieve tubes. And what is the role of xylem here nearby the phloem? Xylem also gives laterally, sideways, some of water so that the food may be converted into aqueous form, liquid form, and its movement becomes easy. So xylem also help phloem by giving the water laterally, means sideways. Then how and when the ATP is utilized? Basically, when there is uploading of the food from the source to the companion cell, that time ATP is required. And second time is when there is offloading of the food from the companion cell to the sink, that is where it is going to be stored. Sink are the storage organ, okay, storage organs, for example root. So that time also ATP is required. So ATP is utilized twice. First is during uploading of the food from source to the companion cell, or you can say phloem itself, and during offloading of the food from the companion cell to the sink, that is storage organ. So we can say that translocation of food in phloem is a active process because it utilizes ATP, and ATP are basically utilized at two steps. Step number 1, during uploading of the food from source to phloem, and second is during offloading of the food from the phloem to storage organ. Thank you very much. Revise well.